Is thermal imaging. So you should. All right.
It's like fingerprints, purple light. But what is it?
There we go. We're back up. All right. So can you see me in there?
There you go.
So I'm red, orange, and yellow, right? So if we're looking for cold spots, it's going to be blue and black because, right, I'm going to be warmer than the ambient temperature, which is about 65 degrees for us tonight. That will be in your report tomorrow morning. I do keep track of those things. So blue and black, we're looking for those things to either take shape or to start moving on their own. When I say take shape, it's usually in the form of a person. These are things that we've captured with this specific camera. However, I don't capture something every single night. What I will tell you is if we're not recording, we're not going to capture it. So that's kind of the whole point. This is a FLIR camera. This is what firemen use to actually help save people. So this is the real deal. This is not a phone app that you can download, just so you guys know. But I also have it set up to where there's a blue dot bouncing around the screen, showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. That way it's going to help you guide your eye when you get your video back tomorrow morning of where's that cold spot. And it gives you the temperature. I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. Again, 65 degrees out here, I'm looking for things below 50 that are not glass because obviously windshields are going to be much colder. So with this one, nice and easy. Going to their cars, just go the other way. Yeah, 3-1. Nice.
I'm going. Did you? Spirit? I don't know what that is right there. I don't know why that's cold over there. Go stand over there. That's where the house was.
got the gist of that camera.
Yeah, it's picking up a little dirt, different colored dirt over
Well,
there.
over here we have
huh?
mud, we have sand, we
Yeah.
have gravel. Like the ground isn't normally what I'm looking for. Like I'm usually looking at the wall to see if like there's a blue blob.
Yeah,
because
you can see it all dark, and then if
Right.
you see a dark blue or black, then
And I don't always follow up with the cameras in real time, just because that screen is small, and I
Mhm.
send it to YouTube so I can watch it nice and big on my computer. And I do the same thing for you guys, so that way you can watch it on your TV if you
yeah,
want
see if
to.
you, yeah,
And again, I may miss something. So for every 5 minutes of media recorded, I watch or listen for 1 minute. That's
Yeah.
it. So that way I can keep moving everything along.
gotcha.
That way you guys get to have fun too, and
Yeah.
I give you all the links to be able to like, oh shit, we have something right here.
she heard something.
What'd you get, Ariana?
What?
What'd you hear?
I heard Spirit, and then I heard Charleston like twice.
Charleston's I throw away. You're listening to Charleston radio stations.
So I just heard Spirit.
Spirit's good. We're still near the bar.
Oh yeah, we are
But that's
So
the only thing.
what's
I
the
heard.
relationship here?
father-daughter.
Okay. I never want to assume anything.
Oh, yeah.
So Spirit is good. It's a little weak. I would want something else relative to a bar than just Spirit. Obviously, spirits are in a bar. So,
Beer, wine,
Yeah, exactly.
glass.
So, well, John,
John.
his
Yeah,
last name, that would be great. You know, Giant. James. I don't know if James tied to this location, but I'm going to write it down just because, I mean, I'm always researching. And just like I told Jen, I'm not Google. So the thing is that she's
I heard
getting...
it over by the.
You heard it over there.
You ever get people, other ghosts following people around? Had nothing to do with Charleston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't give me a vet that was like over in Desert Storm or anything. Everything I tell, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
all about whoever's over, you know,
Yeah.
whoever they lost.
Yeah, that's
Happens all the time.
Joint pain.
joint pain.
It's actually decent.
Yeah,
Yeah, for this location.
joint pain.
I
I
heard
didn't.
it over there.
I didn't hear how she died. I didn't.
No,
I didn't tell
I've
you.
been.
Oh, he didn't tell us. Okay. No, you've been asking. All right.
Come over here.
She's doing. All right, you got anything else from that? All right, let's pull everybody back
I
and get
heard
the hands.
Richard. Or Richardson. I mean,
Again, I mean, we have James that was her too,
Yeah.
so that could be a James Richardson. I'm going to look at the roster from John's team, and we have some numbers that Eve heard, so I'll see if something matches up.
Okay.
So again,
Yeah,
if
that'd
it's
be
not,
nice.
if it doesn't match up, it'll just be on your list.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's pull everybody to the back. Come on back. Let's get you guys moving.
You get any cold spots?
Just on the ground, which is not normal. Well, you said it's normal.
So, this is such a great... We lost Eve.
Do it now.
She's listening.
So we've got her focused. So we have a couple of... You guys can stop your video, give your hands a break.
What's this?
Huh?
What's this?
I don't know.
Again, you're almost going to
It looks like an entrance to a cemetery, but I don't think it
And
is.
just kind of keep it steered down one direction.
No, I'm saying it looks like a cemetery, but it's not.
It is actually.
Oh, is it?
On the other side. So, you guys are like beat me to all of it.
I said.
Yeah, there's a church and a graveyard right next to it.
Oh, area.
So
Yeah.
this, she's perfect, right there. We just want to get some footage going down the alley, so that way we have Dad's leg in there, and if we can see the leg, we can probably see something else. So I'm sorry, I assume this is like mom, dad, kids. Is that?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Again, I try not to make assumptions. I asked them earlier, and I'm like, this
You
could
never
be
know
fun.
nowadays. I tell you, right?
So
We might
other
as well.
tourists
We
will
look
come
alike.
through out of the ivy, just so you guys know.
Be
So when
brother,
they do that,
sister.
we'll kind of split the seas and let them pass through. Now, we will not be spreading out like what we did over at the Pinckney Mansion at this location. What we're doing here is we're kind of stirring things up a little bit, because we're going to get bleed over from this location into the next one. Just like we would have with Big John's and Pinckney Mansion, they were too close. Same thing with this. So again, I'm going to bring you actually into the alley, because this used to be called Jewelers Alley. This is some of the jewels used to occur in the city of Carlsbad. So we all tell the story of one specific duel because, again, we can prove that it actually occurred. So we might have some folks coming through. So yeah, you're perfect. Look at you. You're a pro. I'm going to give you a job later. So
Be careful, she'll take it.
So you might want to take like 2 steps backwards. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, looks like they might be stopping. But the duel that we talk about, I'm going to give you a little bit more details because of what you're doing out here versus the other tours that are just campfire marshmallow type of ghost stories. Did I say that out loud? I do every single night, so I have no shame whatsoever. But we're going to let these folks pass
Okay.
through. Come on through, folks.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
No, you're good.
You're perfectly fine. One of the most beautiful spots in all of Charleston.
You are.
What is it like jumps into my camera?
Looks like Philadelphia.
Huh?
Looks like Philadelphia. We went on a class trip to Philadelphia. Like some of the little side streets and alleys. That looks
You
like
know what
it.
this is called?
What?
This is Philadelphia Alley. Yeah, that's what we call it now. That's what it's named now.
Yeah?
Yeah, so
You're weird.
it used to be called Dueler's Alley. That's where the story comes from.
Dueler's Alley.
So,
All right, let's hear the story.
So I'm going to be, again, more details, but very brief with this, because again, I want to get us to the next location. So the duel that occurred came from a doctor that moved down here from Rhode Island. His name is Joseph Brown Ladd. If the 2 young ladies listening to the Spirit Boxes get the song Brown Eyed Girl playing, it is not by accident or coincidence. We get it all the time, because that's part of the name. Like dark shadows moving around and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I have plenty of interactions with it, but it's not an every night occasion.
Since you do this like professionally, what's your opinion on shadow people? Shadow people.
The things that I've seen through photographs and the things that I've seen physically, like it's a thing. Like it is a real
Are
deal.
they evil?
I look at any kind of entity that we can't normally physically see.
You know how they on some TV shows they make it sound like it's just pitch black darkness. You can't see nothing, but it has the shape of a human.
Right, and it's usually the case. And the things that I've, because people send me photos, and, I've been to other places and that kind of thing. But I don't look at, as this is a good person. type of
Yeah,
reality.
yeah,
I really truly look at this as those are people.
yeah.
And how many jerks do I run into on a day that's not driving? Because everybody's a jerk when they're driving, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just something, because you hear that's a big thing now on everybody's thing.
Well, I mean, hopefully what you guys have seen so far, at least by talking to me, somebody who does this
Yeah.
professionally, that
'Cause I've been into this for 20 years, but I never did it. You know what I mean? I never went out and did nothing.
as a writer, this was a hobby. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I just kind of fell into, all right, I can finally leave a regular job and use my degree.
Yeah, that's nice, though. Doing something you love. I'm going to stand over here and have a cigarette.
Just be careful, like
Okay.
Got a lot of cars in here. All right, so have you been recording the entire time, or are you just, you can turn it back on if you just be careful. All right, what words do you have going on with your word list? We haven't chatted.
Insurance, Jason, Paige, Lace, and Ashley.
Ashley is somewhat relevant to Charles Heath. You have the main fence that is surrounded by the Cooper and Ashley rivers, but we're not on that side of the fence. So I would be more interested if it said Cooper. And that's only because it has like multiple meanings. It could be an actual Cooper, a barrel maker, or it could be something related to it. Have you heard anything?
Yeah.
What have you heard?
He keeps saying help me over and over again.
Hearing help.
Yeah, it was like they kept saying, I wish I knew. I was too late or something.
What do you got going on with yours? Nothing. I know we were kind of all chatting along the way. Long hair. Interesting. Okay, let's see if the hair color shows up. So, we're here because we're going to be discussing the little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. We'll get closer to it. I bring us back here because the other tours like to cut through here and go over to the church across the street. But anyway, that little building, those are not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. If you don't know what an earthquake bolt is, it's a turnbuckle. So if you have another earthquake, you can tighten it up, and it's supposed to, tighten up the building so it doesn't incur any further damage from an earthquake. We just haven't had any major since that one I discussed. So the reason I bring those up is because those were the first set of earthquake bolts that Charles ever put in. Why? It's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. We're here because this building is really familiar. Those of you that watch the TV shows, this is like using a toy to attract a child ghost. It's the same type of principle. Not many buildings this old.
Finger object.
These actually tend to be seen all over town, so we might actually have a lot of activity or absolutely no activity. That's just the way the space works. So the story begins right in the middle of the construction. Follow me. There is a couple of twists, and I'll keep it rated PG for our age group. So we're talking pirates here. So, in 1708, a young lady named Anne Cormack moves here from Ireland. She's with her dad and his girlfriend. The girlfriend is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? They're running away from her father's angry wife. So again, kind of a whole scandal that I can go on for another 30 minutes about, but I won't. So they land in Georgetown. That's just north of here, between us and Myrtle Beach. Dad bought a plantation. Mom died pretty quickly. And that means Dad is sending young Anne down here to sell anything from the plantation to help keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. Let's step backwards in time for a little bit. Back in Ireland, Anne was kind of a badass. They say she killed a servant when she was only 7, 8, 9 years old. Remember, this is pirate lore, with a knife to the belly. So again, you have gotten servant, knife, and belly all in the same evening at this location multiple times. So, fast forward, building's done in 13. Pirates are coming through town in 1715. Anne's pretty stoked about this. Why? She's going to fall in love so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. Guy number 1. Yes, there's a handful, and we're going to go through them. Guy number 1 is named Bonnie. You already see where this one's going adults because we've already mentioned Anne Bonnie. Dad didn't approve because he was a filthy pirate. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormack became Anne Bonnie. However, James is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. This is not who she wants. He's kind of a coward. She falls in love again a few years later. This guy's name is John Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off, just so you guys know. So this is, think of, Captain Jack Sparrow. This is who she fell in love with. He has his own ship. Anne wants to be part of that ship, but you can't put a girl on a pirate crew. Anybody know why? Keep it family friendly. Bad luck. So he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like my crew, you can be part of the crew. But you're going to be a girl in my quarters. Adults will get to that in just a minute. So she's okay with this because Dad used to dress her up as a boy back home in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. So she's okay with this. She's obviously a girl in his quarters. Adults put 2 and 2 together. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl. Jack drops her off in Cuba. These friends of mine have the baby. Come back later. We'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns without a baby. We have no no idea what happened to the child. She's also dressed like a girl. This makes Jack pretty mad. While she was away giving birth to Jack's baby, he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. She's going to go flirting because that's who Anne is. We're on guy number 3 in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be another girl dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females just like males on the same ship. And this young lady is Mary Reed, by the way. She went by Mark Reed and became a pirate. Anne and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're never going to really know for sure. But the British found out where they are. So they're going to send their entire fleet of ships to take on one pirate ship. Anne and Mary, rumor is that they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with their 1-bullet flintlocks. Probably didn't know how to use the cannon jet. So, obviously 2 ladies with flintlocks are not going to take on a fleet of ships. So they get arrested. When they're getting arrested, she looks at her boyfriend, Calico Jack, and she says, "You should have fought like a man instead of being hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up on your spirit boxes all the time here, just so you know. It's a famous quote. The judge, he wants to see the 2 men that fought back so courageously. So the ladies go in front of the judge and they reveal their gender, showing him that they're female. He doesn't care. They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. So they scream out, "We plead our bellies," which means they're claiming to be pregnant. You can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails her out, Anne, alone, brings her up here. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count married. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending. Mary Reed died a few months after she went to that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in a jail. Use your imagination. Most books will tell you that it was fever. I'm going to say BS on that one and say it was really scurvous and nasty and gross, because it's a Jamaican jail for pirates. So, 2 things I left out of here for spirit box work. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and his girlfriend / mistress. So, you guys can ask what their names were, and I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship on purpose. So that way you guys have something to work with. If you guys want to ask it's not if you want to ask anything else on your own, just make sure it's not a yes/no question. Hopefully something I can prove. But again, most people want to go directly to that baby in Cuba. I can't prove anything. I've been researching it for 2.5 years now and still cannot find the answer. So again, it's just one of those pieces. If we get a direct answer, we have a direct answer. Just can't prove that it's true. So, with yours, you will use the motion sensor in here. The numbers, if you get close to those bushes, as you get closer to the garage, are from the parking meters and 2 electrical poles. Don't get excited. However, you can ask Anne Bonny how to show you what her hair color is. The cool thing is the only way to show you is for her to touch that antenna to show you the color red. This is a woman from Ireland, so fiery red hair, green eyes. That's the typical cliche trope that you're going to get, because that's exactly who she was. I didn't show you how to reset that, by the way. So when that thing goes off, right where your thumb is on the side, like the spine of it, there's 3 buttons. Yep. The bottom button, every time it goes off, click and release that button, and it'll reset the antenna. If it goes back to the same color, it's obviously not coming from you. Yep. So kind of keep that in mind. Any other words show up?
Let's see. Receiver, addition, success, bottom, legacy, tone, subject.
Yeah, all too vague for me. All of them. Anybody else hear anything? Ariana, you got anything?
I heard tell the truth and you're talking way too much.
Tell the truth and I'm talking too much?
Oh, you're
You're
talking.
way too much.
That's funny. Anything coming out of yours? More help me? Did you hear?
He said, "I'm living now."
You're living
I'm
now.
not saying help me anymore.
That's good.
I don't know.
That's progress.
It is progress.
It was funny. Because it goes from like this rafting
All right.
to
So we're going to end by that wall. So I'll do a couple of laps with you guys, and then we'll head over to that wall, and I'll give away all the answers. So you're still recording? You still got a square?
Yep.
So you've been recording a long time, so I would stop it and restart it just to make sure we're not going to lose that footage.
Wait, so
Part to actually serve as like storage.
Oh, okay.
So, and then eventually they turned it into the apartment building that you're looking at now. So if I were to take a stab in the dark based on the brickwork, I would say the whole building is probably mid to late 1800s, so I'm going to guess like 1870s.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact history of it, but
You can tell the bricks are a lot smaller.
well, it's the mortar in between
The
that I normally
mortar?
look at.
The mortar?
If the mortar's super thick and uneven, like the older it is.
Yeah, you could. What you hear?
I did it all for love.
I did it all for love. The funny thing is we normally get the song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" here. We get it all the time. Just so you know, I did it all for love.
I did it all for love. How many loves? 4? 5? 4? 4.
Sure, there was more.
There's probably more. Yeah. Are you saying you could turn them crosses? Is that what you were saying? You
There's bolts in the middle of them, and even this building, the apartment building, has them too. It's just part of our Charleston charm. I don't go into, like, when I have kids on the tour, I don't go into, like, the architecture too much just because it gets boring. But there's bolts on there. The interesting thing about this building is it's on both sides. So basically, they're crossing this way, like in between the floorboards.
There's no fault, though, down here, right?
We have
there has
ley
to be
lines,
something,
but
right?
Again,
To have an earthquake, there has to be some kind of
I don't know what caused it. I never.
We had an
really
earthquake in New Jersey. I mean, little tiny ones, but I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't think we'd have them on the East Coast
I mean, we have
that.
like little 1 point something.
Yeah, little. How big was this one again?
Well, it was 1886, so we didn't have.
Oh,
the
they didn't.
Richter
Yeah,
yet.
they didn't know.
I want to say like if they, based on the damage of it, I think they said it was like an 8.6, 8.8. So it was a big one.
That's.
What do we got coming out of there now? Finally got you laughing about it. I don't know the answer. I told you what I only left out the two things.
I have no idea.
What was the name of this shit?
It said Black Knight over and over again.
Black Knight.
Yeah.
So there are Blackbeard. There is a called the Pirate House right up the street on the other side of the cemetery. That's where Blackbeard's men would go off the ships. They have a place to stay. It's a lot more detailed than that, but you guys are getting my point. Black Knight. So, Black Knight.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, people stare because you're holding weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You got L over here.
Is that thing recording for us? So normally we know within like 5 to 8 minutes if something's actually going on. Like I'm excited about the Black Knight thing. Believe it or not, because it doesn't always occur. There's a night where you have black on one and that's black beard on another. So Black Beard. Or we've had Teach Edward. That was his real name, Edward Teach. So I mean we've had those things occur. So when I see the word black show up, I'm like, I'm gonna wait.
I heard 28 shipwreck prophecy.
So yeah, we'll give this a few more minutes. Ariana, you got something else?
Yeah, I heard 28 shipwreck prophecy.
So 28 is obviously the date
Yeah.
of the trial. So I'm excited about that. So we'll see if we get something else to it.
Prophecy,
I don't know.
though.
Yeah.
I want to say something like that showed up on the word list too. Or Legacy, I think was
Oh,
what was over
Legacy.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Legacy. Yeah.
And then shipwreck.
Shipwreck is cool. Definitely take that. She heard the phrase Black Knight, and I was just telling them like there are Blackbeard ties in this around here too.
I was writing it down, so shit.
I got to talking and I forgot what it was. I have Shipwreck
Prophecy.
Prophecy 28.
28. Thank you. I get to talking and
I do it. I forget. I forget
I
easy.
wrote it down.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
yeah, I find a lot of people will use their phones to take notes with.
Yeah.
So that way when I catch up to them, especially when I have my groups of 10,
Yeah,
because I'm
it's
bouncing
busy.
around. I mean, most people have a spirit box. They're all different.
Yeah.
So I'm bouncing around and I'm learning about each one.
Is it best to keep them slow?
It depends. So you guys being beginners, I would say absolutely. I normally tell people, like when you're training yourself for an actual full-blown investigation, spend a good 2 to 3 hours just slowly speeding it up. 15-minute increments, take a 10-minute break, so that way you're not giving yourself a headache.
Yeah.
But yeah, learn how it comes through, and then, like I actually started, this is going to start next week, we're doing a Spirit Box boot camp tour. So in a nutshell, it's nothing but Spirit Boxes, no cameras.
Yeah,
And
that's
it'll
good, though.
speed up with each location. And then the last location will be an Estes method, which is a sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
So ear muffs
Ear,
and then eye
here,
coverings.
yep.
So only 6 people at a time. And everybody
That's
gets
starting to become popular now, too.
Yeah. So
The big thing with it going fast is that you get the same voice over, what, like
15 radio
15,
stations.
yeah, radio stations.
And I have
That's-
disembodied voices over that slow method.
Oh, do you? That's
Oh,
even
yeah.
that's even better.
So
Because
that's
it's
why
slow.
I get give you guys the opportunity. And first off, I get some people that are terrified
Yeah.
to even come near this stuff.
Yeah.
So when they hear a welcome to Charleston and buy a Dodge tomorrow,
Yeah.
our inventory's super high. You know what I mean? It gives them something a little bit of a comfort because it's something familiar.
Yeah, it's familiar. It's familiar.
So
yeah.
even though it might be a message,
Yeah.
the word inventory might mean something.
Yeah. You never know.
You don't know. So it kind of takes the edge
Off of
things
it.
a
Off
little
of it.
bit.
Yeah. Now she wants to go to Eastern State. I said, I don't know. Prison. They kind of made that commercialized now. They have a whole ghost tour at Halloween now. I mean,
Right.
I said, I don't know. Prisons are. I don't know. Prisons are bad.
Hospitals and the prisons.
Yeah, I don't know about prisons and hospitals.
You got any numbers or colors coming up?
No. Right over there at that window, and she heard run.
Yes, that's an apartment building over there. All right, let's bring everybody over to the wall. Come on over. You guys can tell me everything else you heard. Do I say you only get 40% in real time? Alright, those of you with videos, if you want to kind of give them a break, you can do memorials all through here. Obviously a lot of ghost tours come through here, and I was just testing it out because I change everything every year. So I brought my small group and I said, let's see what we get. What we got was the exact birth year of that person, of that bust, and his name. And when I say his name is Henry Timrod. So somebody heard the name Henry, and somebody else heard the name Tim come through, and then the year 1828 came through clear as a bell on the Spirit Box recording, and I was able to capture it. So I was really excited about that. That's the exact year of his birth. I knew I heard his story in the past, so I started doing a little bit of research just so we had something to go off of. Here it is on the skinny. The guy was sick for most of his life. He was obviously old enough to be alive through the Civil War. He wanted to be part of it. He goes to war for, the Civil War for the Confederates, and he's out on the battlefield, and his friends realize he's too sick to fight. So I sent him home. They said, be the voice of the war. They knew he was a writer. So he came home, started writing poetry about what was going on the battlefield. Years after he comes home, he has a son. You're going to find out what his son's name is, his birthday, and how old he was when he passed away, because he was very young. However, a few years after that, he's very sad still, and he's still writing, and he's getting his point across. He actually became known as a laureate. Like, that's a big deal in the writing world, if you're unfamiliar. But his college friend called him up and said, you know what, I got a cottage out here in Columbia. That's our capital, right in the middle of the state. You can come out here, kind of get away from the wife a little bit, and kind of finish the paper that you're working on. So he goes out there, and that's where he writes his last words. The holder of brief mortality, which translates to person of short life. And then he coughs, and it lands on the page in a blood stain. The interesting thing about that blood stain is it looks like a man writing. It's very interesting. However, the man had tuberculosis. All of his work is actually held at the Charleston Library Society. They only show this blood book one day a year on Halloween. However, internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you what it looks like, so that way you guys can have a gist of what we're looking for here. So for those of you with spirit boxes, obviously the child is something we can go after. That's try to find out his name, his birthday, and how old he was when he passed away. And you can also ask about Henry's wife, try to get what her name was. Interesting thing was he did write a poem for each one of those two family members with the same title of their name. So this is the blood book. You can see where the blood stain looks like a man writing over his desk, and then the line, beholder of brief mortality. So we have gotten the term blood and book in this location along with his name. Again, we're going to spread out. I will tell you, Sean, we've gotten readings in this location, not all the time, but more often than I would normally expect, of over 150. They're normally in a grassy knoll somewhere, so you'll have to find never in the same spot. So usually like one of three spots. So it's very interesting how we actually ask them. So again, be mindful, there are other tools in here that we'll be playing with the SLS camera and the video you'll get back from there. There's a ton of trees in here. It's a lot of debunking on my end. So just kind of keep in mind, unless I have a full figure. The interesting thing about that camera, the reason why I have it, this is a location where somebody brought one of those big, giant, chunky monkey ones on my tour, and we had a full 8-minute interaction next to the bust. When I say interaction, it was a, hey Henry, and it was a full figure. We could see it. Just standing there, moving around a little bit. Henry, is it okay if I read some of your poetry? Raise your right hand. And the arm went up, and then came back down again. So, the interesting thing of how it disappeared, it was a whole team of men and one woman. The only woman in that group goes over to the side of the bust, extends her hand, and asks Henry to shake it. He disappeared. He was alive during the 1800s. It was probably very disrespectful for a woman to go up and offer her hand to be shaken. So again, keep those things in mind when we're here. This is a very shy, timid man. So it might take us a few minutes to actually find out where he's at based on Sean's readings and whatever we're getting out of those spirit boxes. Have some fun. This is our last stop. So you're on that record button.
All right, let's go. Oh.
Chelsea? No, that is not the wife's name. I'm definitely going to write it down because we still get things relevant to other monuments in here.
George Washington.
Public place, kind of vague. Let's get something specific. Let's try to find out the kid's
Something
name.
just hit me.
Okay.
A leaf just hit me. I didn't think somebody was
You
talking.
freaking out over a leaf?
No, no. I told her. I said something just touched my arm. And a leaf fell down. That's George Washington. That bus there, Ariana.
Bus.
A bus statue. Usually a bus is just the top hat. Like that's a bus. See, it's just at the top of his head.
I don't understand. Bus? I thought you meant like actual bus.
Bust. B-U-S-T. That's not a bus. That's a statue. Can we go up on here or no?
I don't think so.
These three pieces, I know it's move on for the kids. You know, it gets a little dry.
Are you allowed to go up on here and read this thing or no? Yeah, you are.
Watch the other sword.
Okay. You're allowed to go up there. I will walk up. I want to read what it says. Richmond, Fort Fisher. Gaines Mill. I'm reading.
I'm very unbiased when I go into the documents. So I don't think about who the people were. I'm just going to
I ain't see nothing. I saw my reflection through that. If you stare and look at that, whatever that plaque is, you
Yeah.
can see the reflection of your body heat through it. It's not cold though, so I want to wait for these people to leave over there because that's where the bust is. You hearing anything?
Huh?
You hearing anything?
I heard CJ.
CJ.
What do you got?
I just heard CJ.
Yeah. I'm gonna write it down.
Nothing
'cause I
off the
don't
top
know.
of your head.
But like I said, on the top of my head, I'm excited about the J because I was just telling Jen that memorial, that rock right there,
Yeah.
that is a memorial to Andrew Jackson's mother. So her name was Elizabeth Hutchinson.
Is she from here?
I don't know,
No.
but we've had things like Mother Andrew. You know what I mean? Like we've had specific things pop up about that. But CJ, and that's really weird. Like I don't know
Yeah.
who that could belong to, but I'm gonna
That's
write
the
it down.
only
We also have
thing-
the name Chelsea. I don't know who that is.
You've been here like almost 10 minutes. That's the only thing. CJ.
Yeah, so like.
Did you get any readings yet?
Nothing.
Okay. So I'll point out, since you don't have anything, kind of take a gander on the other side of this tree right here and see if anything pops up. Just try not to come up with
Why is this guy still standing over there talking? I don't want to walk by him, you know. I'll wait for them to be done.
Unfortunately, most of the tours will go to the back
Yeah.
and talk about Beauregard back there because he's a general of some sort.
Is that what that black is for?
Yeah,
that one?
that big.
Yeah.
They'll talk about him like they usually use his flashlight so you can read it.
Oh,
It's very hard
yeah,
to
it is
read.
hard to read. I couldn't read it
Yeah.
at all. I saw like a
Just that
couple
other
words.
group coming in here.
Yeah, it's the cemetery group.
Oh, yeah. So we're about to get a lot of people in here.
That's crazy. Like I saw my reflection in that. You know, in that when I was standing close to it.
Oh.
How it reflects. on it.
Because it's glossy back.
Oh yeah.
And what it does, and you know the interesting thing about Evan, it'll pick up shadows too.
Does it?
What it does is it picks up the
You guys
temperature.
captured anything tonight?
A few things, a
Alright.
couple.
Right on.
But the white lines you're seeing on there
Uh-huh.
are basically the temperature differences because the camera sees in 2D. It doesn't know 3D like our eyes do.
Yeah.
So it's trying to help you by putting outlines on things.
Okay.
That's why when it might look like, you know, Ariana's, her heat signature is right here, but her outline is just to the right of it.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a little off, and you'll see it calibrate
Okay.
when you guys are watching your video. So, had to learn a lot about
Yeah.
thermodynamics.
I
but
never used one, so I've seen them. Never used one though.
They're really cool. I
Yeah.
have it set up with that color scheme because it's easy for you guys to see the differences.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go through the other ones myself, but that is still the easiest way to use
Yeah.
it for ghost hunting.
Yeah, it is.
I want to try the Estes method.
Oh, don't tell her. Well, when you doing that again? When you starting that?
Wednesdays.
Oh, you talking about that?
No, we were
Yeah,
just talking about
yeah.
spirit boxes, and he brought up that they're going to start
You guys
doing
anything
the
else crazy?
Estes method.
I want to try it.
Try it at home.
What is that spirit box?
What do you got?
Download the app. All you need is the thing that flashes through channels.
Phantom. Do we have anything?
Phantom.
Kind of showing any numbers over there? That's what we have at 157. Again, it's not even me. I never know which one.
Anywhere in like this area could be.
Yeah, if you guys want to do a quick lap, I was going to wrap it up, but if you want to go take a quick lap around those
It
stores.
was there, and then it might have been there, and then I just want to walk around here.
Yeah, 'cause I want to see if we can find those numbers, see where they're at,
Oh my God.
and then we'll wrap
I
it up.
can't, you know, I told you it's a whole spot,
Watch
and
this
then over
couple
here,
times.
here, and then it's a bird.
Windy, huh?
Yeah, it's just them little leaves fall on you.
What number? Did you hear the numbers? 8:45. Is that what time it is now?
It's way past
Oh, is
8:45.
it? I know
We
you
met
said-
at 8:45.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking our thing was... I'm sorry. thought it
But
ended
I
at
also
9.
look at that as August 25th.
Yeah. August 8:25. August 25th.
Oh, you said 45. You
You
said
said
45?
8:25. You said 8:25,
I don't remember.
and then you said another number after that.
I heard two sets of
Yeah,
numbers.
8:25.
And then 9. I don't remember.
All right, 8:45. You know you heard
I'll
8:45.
take the 9.
Yeah, I heard 9, but I don't remember the second.
Yeah, this is I don't think we have a whole lot going on here. I think it's a little too
A little too
overpopulated.
busy for them, man. A little too
Like I
busy.
said, Henry's a short little shy guy.
And he's shy, so
He's a writer, introvert. I understand.
better off with a small group.
I mean, I'm the exact opposite because I'm a writer and an extrovert.
You're not having, at least 20 people, 25 people here.
Yeah. John, nothing? Nothing. All right. I think that's time to call.
This way, Ariana. This way.
Normally the readings here will kind of save the rating score and start escalating really fast. But we did get CJ Chelsea 845 and the number 9. But some other numbers popped up. And you didn't really give me anything that I was like, ooh, check that out. So again, with the video cameras, if you want to stop them.